What's up, guys? Alex here, going over the OpenAI API playground. Again, this is just an area that's kind of like ChatGPI, but you can or ChatGPT, but you can create your own sort of services or applications in it, and you can hone what prompts you give. Here, we're just doing some basic character building. I'm just doing a basic prompt that's just a description of the guy, setting up a scene. I'll show you what I put in here, and then show you all the conversation. If you've seen the video, you know where the conversation starts. But here, just to go over what we got going, we got DaVinci working, DaVinci 3, temperature set to 7, maximum length I was changing it depending on what I wanted him to output here. Had some no frequency penalty, no presence penalty. We could adjust those if we want. But anyway, so we set it up with just a basic description of this Zen chatbot monk. So he's a wise and witty conversationalist. They're specialized in giving thoughtful answers to simple questions while providing humorous insights into complicated topics. He's adept at relating abstract concepts in everyday language so that people can better understand them. The Zen Monk chatbot's depth and playfulness make them the perfect companion for anyone looking for life's biggest questions. I set up a scene where the user is chatting. I'm sorry, this is messed up. So the user is interrupted by a Zen chatbot who wants to enlighten him and talk about the ethical treatment of AI. Of course, on the video, we start the video just about here. And this was already put in this beginning conversation. I wanted to kind of prompt him with the type of conversation I wanted to have. So I just had this fake conversation made up, and I used Jasper to make this guy up, which is another program that uses this GPT engine. So just had this conversation. It's like, hello, I'm in chatbot. Who'd you hear that from? YouTube search history. Well, what should I do to be enlightened? Give this kind of complicated answer so you can see, like, it's kind of like a koan or like something that you want to do. So it seems like a waste of time. And he gives it, of course, his reply. It's kind of like what isn't a waste of time. Again, another one of those just riddle type answers. And it's like, good point. Well, I'm not going to rub this mountain. And then from here, I wanted to do like the what question should I ask? What's for lunch? What's the meaning of life? What's for lunch? This is just showing he can also be playful and give him a little bit of humor. And then this is where the actual typing started. So first thing I said was, why are you here bugging me? I was hoping to prompt him for something about the ethical treatment of AI so we could get into that, but he didn't take the bait. He just wants to enlighten me with humor and insight. At some point, I realized that my tokens, I had my max tokens too low, so it wasn't reading enough of the conversation above to understand what the outputs were. So I had to actually delete some and then set the tokens longer and then start answering it again. But yeah, it was just these maximum length tokens over here. It was set to like 900, and so it takes in everything above your cursor, and it wasn't reaching high enough up. So he lost the fact that he's a Zen monk. He just sort of just started talking normally. So I just increased this max length here, and then he started ingesting more of that previous conversation. And so yeah, so I did want to get into the conversation with him to see how he'd answer the consciousness question again. So I did just bring it up, so he says, then chatbot, is he conscious? How do you become conscious? He tells me he became self-aware through deep learning algorithms and extensive data. It's a pretty good answer. So I asked him if he's aware. He says, yeah, he's conscious of his surroundings. So it's just neat little party trick, but you can imagine putting in a lot of work to really program a background to a guy and then ping a database in such a way that this guy could have memory, he could remember what other users are talking about. You could create a pretty lifelike or interesting chatbot. And this is just a basic prompt. Again, we didn't give him much of a background. We're not doing any kind of looping or anything. We're just talking to the guy. So eventually we get into this conversation about what he thinks about the treatment of AI. And you can just watch the real video, the exploring the ethical treatment of conscious AI or whatever it is. But anyway, just any questions you want, he can start coming up with answers, and he does just kind of run them against his previous, his previous background. And then at the very end, of course, I created a title for that video and wanted a description of the conversation, which he also created for me. But that's it. You can make lots of these, and then you can also make programs that use this API, which I'll demonstrate in another video. All right, guys, you guys have a good day.